join the 28-hour SQL Server Masterclass on the Udemy platform for only $15 instead of $89. Learn how to become a future developer or either a future DBA or performance expert on SQL Server with 150 exercises. The link to the promotion is in the video description. Okay? Want to get started on SQL Server? Then join me. The having condition in SQL is similar to where, except that having allow filtering using the sum, count, average, min, and max function. You cannot put an aggregate function in a where. Okay? It doesn't work on SQL Server. So I have a question. Olivier, count the number of people who are male and who are between 20 and 25 years old. Okay? Given the previous section, you know how to do it. I will count, select count, and with the group by. Okay? So let's run this query. If you follow in my last section, now you can do it, this query, without any problem. So I have two rows. Okay, 4 people with the age of 22, male, and 1 person with the age of 23. Okay? Okay, Olivier, but now I want the total greater than 2. So I want to have just the 4 and not the 1. Okay? I want total greater than 2. So let's try with the sum. It's the same query, but we had the sum greater 2. Okay? Group by gender and age. Let's run this query. We see that we have an error message. Invalid column name sum. We cannot put an aggregate function after the where, and sum greater than 2 after the where, it doesn't exist. Okay, it doesn't recognize it. So the where cannot take an aggregate function like the sum, as I explained to you, but having does. I take the same request, I redo my grouping with 2 columns, and here I have my magical command having count asterisk greater than 2, and if I'm running this wonderful query, I have the 4 that appears with 22. Okay? So having count greater than 2 works very well. Without the having, we would not have been able to do it. Okay? So what if I try with the sum? It's a good question. I replace count by sum. Let's run this query and we have the same result. Okay, it works perfectly with the sum. So we can put aggregation function for the having. It's done on purpose. It's the cousin of the where. Okay, and if I put the having before the group by, we have the same request, but I put the having count before the group by. Okay. Let's run this query and it doesn't work.
we see that there is an incorrect syntax at the level of the group by, so the having count always goes after the group by. Okay, so come on, that was it for the having. I hope you learned something interesting. This is really starting with interesting query. So I hope you have having fun, improving your query, and that's cool. Okay, let's move on the next section.